Hello there, my lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of Listening to the Voices in Our Heads with me, Jenna O'Malley, your soul writer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've actually been quite excited about this podcast. Okay, let's get real. Most of you are going, soul writer, you're excited about every podcast you give us. Yes, I am, to be fair. I don't really play favorites. Let's get real. It's the teacher in me. Today's episode, we are sitting down with somebody that writes about the truth behind some of the history I use in my own works. Engy Donia is from Egypt, like she's Egyptian, and she writes about her culture's correct history. She made it a point to educate a lot of us in this episode about her work, and I am so excited to sit down with her and get talking about life as a mom again, since we do love our author parents around here. Thank you especially for what you do. Engy specifically writes tales that her children will enjoy so that she can pass on her correct history and culture to them as she learned it while spending time with her grandfather in Egypt and reading from his books of historical accounts. Oh my goodness, my lovelies. Let's go ahead and get started and sit down with our dear friend and listen to the voices in our heads a little bit more. Season 2 will be ending soon. I can't believe it. Oh my God, almost for the last time this season. Let's rock it. Hello there, my lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of Listening to the Voices in Our Heads with me, Jenna O'Malley, your soul writer, author of the Arsinoe Forest Alliance and the soon-to-debut series Vitae Elangica. We're sitting here with another one of my friends from all across the globe again. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend. Give us a good intro of who you are, what you do, what your product is about, and so on.
Hi, Jenna. How are you? Thank you so much. I'm an Egyptian author and historian, married and a mother of two amazing boys. I have a bachelor degree in business administration, but I didn't take business as a career. I grew up in a house full of books because my grandfather was a great historian. I still remember the first time I asked him for a book to read, and he gave me a book about ancient Egypt history. Since that day, I've become obsessed with my ancestors' history, and 4 years ago, I decided to pour my obsession onto pages. So I wrote my first novel, Birdies and the Bracelet of the Five Gods. It's young adults and teens historical fantasy novel based on real Egyptian figures, kings, queens, priests, lived from thousands of years during the Old Kingdom. Also based on real prophecies, real spells from the Book of the Dead, real schools of magic. They were temples actually, and real antagonist, a warlock, lived during King Khufu's rule. You can say the book is a mix of, yeah, you can say the book is a mix of time travel, magic, adventure, mythical creatures, sense of humor, and doesn't contain bad language or love scenes. It's a clean book because I wanted to write a book my kids can read it too. And a few months ago, the book published traditionally by Pennant Publications, sorry, by Pennant Publications in US. It's available as paperback and ebook on the publisher's website, pennantpublications.com, and Amazon as a Kindle edition. Also on Barnes and Noble, eBay, Walmart. Just Google the book title and you will find it in many bookstores.
And I'm going to make sure they get some links in the description box to this video below. One of the main reasons why I was so excited to have you visit is my characters come from that ancient tradition as well. The leading lady
Really?
of my alliance is actually the vampiric great-granddaughter of Cleopatra's sister Arsinoe.
Wow, seems interesting.
So I tend to do a lot of research, and when I found your books, I was like, straight from the source, straight from someone who grew up hearing these stories. And
Yeah.
I really wanted to have you on to have that someone who knows the culture or tried and true to come and visit with us. So thank you so much for publishing on really an international scale. Your stories sound amazing to me. I love it.
Thank you, Jenna. Your words really encouraging.
Oh, hey, that's part of what we do around here. Many of the lovelies who frequent our videos tend to know that I tell them your mental health matters first, and you as a person therefore matter in general. So yes, very much glad to have you here today, my friend. So what is or was your other career beside writing? You said you had an MBA but didn't do anything with it?
Yeah, I have a degree in business administration, but I didn't take it as a career. And now writing is my only career.
Ah, so did you do something before coming to writing then?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just the school for the MBA and then you went right into writing?
No, just the kids and the house. That's all.
Understood. That's fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because some people come into writing like I taught and then became a writer. So I wasn't sure if it's just something that came before that. Thank you very much for bringing your background to writing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what about the family life then? Because originally the question was, what about your previous or other career has prepared you to be a writer? So what about the MBA, or what about your children has helped you to be a stronger writer outside of writing the stories for your children?
Yeah, my degree prepared me a little because in business you learn about marketing and promoting. And though my book published traditionally, I still need these skills. So yeah, it helped.
Would you say marketing is your favorite or least favorite thing to do then, given the MBA background?
Least favorite, I think. It's hard. It's really hard, but I'm trying.
That's all that really matters, honestly. I had another friend on recently, Barrett Laurie, who has a business and finance background. And even he has told me marketing has been the roughest part for him, or he has seen a lot of writers say that.
Exactly. It's a hell itself. Believe me.
Because you're traditionally published, not indie published, correct?
Yeah, I'm traditionally published, but it's still I need, because I'm just a new author, so I'm not famous one. So I still need a lot of marketing and promoting, a lot.
This is fair enough. I know even Barrett has mentioned he still feels like he's doing that from time to time with someone looking to go trad. So
exactly.
How did you find your publisher? Because are you located in the US now, or?
Yeah, I looked in many, actually in many websites and platforms and Facebook groups. I used I think I can't recall it right now. I'm sorry, I can't recall the website name.
It's okay.
But online, I found it online. One of my friends actually told me about it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It of course was a long journey. That
was kind of my next question.
About tens of rejection letters, but finally I did it.
So as far as starting the writing, was there a gap of time between when you finished your degree versus when you started writing? And how did you make the decision to transfer out of your original stories?
Yeah, as I said before, I grew up in my grandfather's house. I used to see him reading and writing all day, so I fell in love with books, especially history books. You can say I'm a history nerd, exactly like my
Guilty
main
as
character,
charged.
Burgess. Yeah. So I wrote a few short stories and poems during school, but I kept them for myself. Then I got married, had kids, got busy. I couldn't write, but I kept reading history books. Then the kids grew up, started to depend on themselves. So I said, maybe this is the right time to write a real book. Why not? I'm full of history facts. I have a strong plot, so let's do it. And I did it.
Kind of feels similar to myself. My dad and I watched a lot of history documentaries, and that led to us
Yeah,
reading a lot about history. And that's kind of where
great.
my own love of it comes from. So I appreciate that familial connection. Um, do you
So happy that
think
you're a history nerd like me.
my opinion of history is you need to look at it to get everybody's story, because all you hear in school, or at least all I heard in school, was
Yeah,
who won and their version. You never
yes.
hear the other side of the story of who lost and whether or not was that win truly a win. And I like the other stories connected to the one we didn't get growing up here.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And for me, that's what drives me to write a lot, personally.
Yeah.
So as far as writing processes go, we tend to think plotter, pantster, plantster. I tend
Yeah.
to ask everybody this question. Do you like to plot, meaning you have that hardcore outline and you kind of write or don't write to that outline, versus do you just sit down, no outline, no pre-planning, just sit down and whatever comes out comes out?
Um, I'm kind of a mix of all because I usually write down the plot, the main idea, my book based on it. Then I let my characters to lead and show me the way while I'm writing. But sometimes I stop a certain chapter or scene, especially when it has a lot of action going on or historical facts. So I stop and make a plan before I write.
I like the way you worded that. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's like the big important moments get more outlining than the connecting pieces.
Yeah, yes, something like that. Yeah,
I like the way you worded that,
yeah,
as far as how you let the characters also kind of guide you, because it doesn't
yeah,
feel like our experience firsthand as writers sometimes, does it?
yeah, yeah. Right.
What your struggles were, and you said finding time. How old are your children, my dear?
One is 10, the other 7.
Oh,
2
so
years old now.
they don't quite need mommy for everything.
Yeah, just lately. Okay, so that's why I lately started to find a little bit time to write, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to keep on writing, even if it's just a few words every day.
That's a good point. Even if it's just a few words, try
Yeah,
to find that time. So as they get older, then you assume you'll have more time to write, I guess.
yeah. I hope. Yeah.
I I hope. I like that enthusiasm. What do your children think about your stories then, since it's kind of for them?
They didn't finish it yet, but they are so proud. They look forward to read it, of course, soon.
Oh. Um, when you first told them about it, what was their reaction?
Yeah, they were very excited. They were very excited, and they told all their friends, and they asked me all the time about it, if I gonna have a second book or not. Yeah,
I like
they very supportive.
they sound like they're huge supporters for you. The
Yeah.
fact that, having taught a little bit older than that age group myself for 10 years, I gotta admit, if you can get a kid
Yeah.
to brag about your book, you did better than getting an adult to buy
Yeah,
your
of
book.
course. Especially on your book for teens and young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They tend to get looked over a lot. There's a lot of books for the little kids.
Yeah.
Once you get somewhere around their age, the eldest one's age 10, it seems like the options drop off. So I'm glad to hear that you're filling that market for sure. We talked about your struggles as a writer. We didn't quite have this question in there, but what's your biggest success? Publishing, of course, but are there others that are just signs of you're doing the right thing?
No, for now, it's just writing. It's all I'm thinking about, and all I'm doing right now. That's really was this is my biggest success, actually.
I have to agree. That publication
Yeah.
still feels like your biggest success moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
When do you think book 2 would come out? Within the next year, next 2 years, you think?
I hope I hope I finish it this year. I hope, of course.
Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe after 1 year, maybe.
That's not a horrible pace. I know some author friends of mine who literally can write a book a month, and I'm like, where do you have the time? Bless your heart.
Actually, when? Yeah, seriously, month?
A month. I can't. It takes me 7 to 8 months easily.
My first book took me 4 years to finish.
Okay, if we're getting technical, my first one took way longer because I started, stop, kind of, I imagine, like how you did.
Yeah, of course.
And as far as your goals, then, since we're kind of talking on those, we're going to skip around a little bit. What are your goals just for the next 6 months in writing?
Yeah, my biggest goal now is to finish the second book in Birdies trilogy, Birdies and the Queen's Necklace. I hope, yeah.
What? So, do the books connect? Are they a series or are they standalone?
It's a trilogy, but each book works as a standalone. When you read it, you're gonna feel that it's a standalone book. But I'm willing to be a trilogy.
I like the plan a lot. I'm one of those people of you have to start with book 1. I'm sorry. I haven't figured out that method of what everyone seems to be going to of series but standalone. I can't. I'm sorry. Good talent. Good on you writers who
Thank
can
you.
do that.
Because I love because I love standalone books. I read a lot. I'm an avid reader, so I love to read standalone books. So I'm trying to do a mix of both.
I like the blend. Who is your favorite author then?
J.K. Rowling, of course.
Very
keen.
She is one of those authors who also comes from nothing, like, you know.
Yeah, a mom,
like a mom, a common everyday mom, and her tale is kind of similar to what you're going for. I want to tell a story to my kids, so
yeah,
I see why you like her and her work. There's a huge connecting point there.
Yeah.
What are 3 things you do every day as part of your writing routine? You said you try to get a few words in there, but
I usually make a cup of tea, sharpen my pencil, get my papers because I love to write on paper first. Then I type on the weekends.
Wow, you don't. I type faster than I write, so I stopped doing so. But is it more like you can get into the book if you have the paper in hand, or
yeah, I feel it's better. Yeah, I feel comfort more than I just sit on in front of my laptop. I love it. I love paper and pencil.
It's a whole different kind of mind-body connection for sure.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Do you find that it's easier for you to pick up a pen in between doing things with your family too versus a computer?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I do this. Yeah, when just a new idea or like a scene hit me, I just pick up my pen and start to write.
You can stash it in a pocket, in a bag, take it
Yeah,
with you easier.
yeah,
Love it.
while I'm in the kitchen or cooking or whatever, I just take out my pencil and write. I write.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So then how do you deal with every writer's greatest enemy, writer's block?
Oh, yeah. I leave my manuscript for a while, and I read a lot books in my genre. This always works for me. Reading.
The, in the brain, how our bodies handle it, it is same tool, different end of the spectrum. So you're kind of re-energizing what you're putting out then that way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then with the writer's block, have you had one last longer than another and not been able to get out of it?
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, it happened once. Yeah, uh, yeah. From a few months ago, it happened. It happened. Yeah, I left my manuscript for about 3 months.
Ooh.
I kept reading. Yeah, it was horrible. I kept reading. I kept reading books, history books, um, and then yeah, I managed to rewrite again.
Love it. Um,
Thank you.
do your current or past like loves in music or fashion influence your books? Because they're historical fantasy, it sounds like, to a
Yeah.
degree. But is there anything modern that also influences your writing?
Actually, no, just a quiet place is all I need to write, really. Especially when you have when you have a kids, like a quiet place, it's precious.
Do they go to school during the day and come home? Does that give you a
Yeah,
chance to write?
yeah, exactly. I always write when they at school. Yeah.
Wonderful. Um, this might be an odd question, and I've been meaning to ask this to an author who's also a mom or
Yeah.
who's also a parent to generalize it out to the guys I've had on the men I've had on the show too. Um, as far as the writing goes,
Yeah.
has feedback from your children changed something in the way you wrote since you are specifically writing kind of for their age group?
Actually, not. They first they didn't finish yet.
Ah,
They didn't finish yet. But I once take my son's advice in the main character's name. Uh, he helped me a lot in this thing.
ah, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, Verdi's the name. I
So
wanted to a special name, a unique. So he helped me in this one.
was it so much that you just gave him a list to pick from and he picked, or were you open to him suggesting?
No, I gave him a few choices, and he just pointed out.
Love it. I love
Yeah,
that kind of interaction. My
yeah,
husband kind of named one of my characters inadvertently too. So I was
great.
kind of curious to see if a child had ever done that versus a spouse. Thank you for confirming.
Yeah, they my
So
angels.
I agree with that. I recently
Yeah.
lost my first, and that's what we named them was Angel.
Oh
So
my, I'm so
yeah,
sorry, dear.
it's all right. Hey,
So sorry.
like I told my
Mhm.
husband, we have another chance, and at least we know we have a chance. So,
Of course, of course, of course.
but you're right. They are angels. They really,
Yeah, they are true angels. Believe
they
me.
will tell you the truth, and they will not be kind
Yeah,
about it sometimes.
of course.
That's one thing I love about being a teacher. People say children shy.
Mm,
Some of the most honest people I work with on a daily basis are under the age of 18. Thank you.
yeah.
And I'm sure with you, work your children can tend to, depending on their personality, be the same, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true.
Wonderful. So we are getting ready to wind down things here. We got a couple of questions left. For someone who is just starting out in writing yourself as a trad author, what advice do you have to share for new writers who are or are not considering trad publishing?
Um, just believe in yourself, in your work, and read a lot. You'll be amazed how reading can improve your writing.
Mm.
Just read, maybe, because I found I got to know a few friends, writers. They write, but they don't read. I don't know how. Reading is so important, believe me.
I agree. I compare it to, as a teacher, I compare it to like an athlete.
Yeah,
Whenever you are writing, you are on the field, it is game day. Whenever you are reading, it is practice session. You're
yeah,
practicing and learning new ways of using tools you already have mastered.
yeah.
And
It may gives you a great lot, new one.
very true. Very
Yeah,
true. It becomes, like I said earlier, that muscle memory
yeah,
too. If you can reinforce it in any way, do it. As far as really good historical fiction books to read, you need to check out her books. Oh my goodness. Those, like I said, everyone around here knows I'm a complete history nerd.
yeah. I'm
Um,
honored, really.
I can't wait to read more because, especially as I'm writing further into my characters' stories, I'm looking for other authors who do more than just simply retell what we already know about history. And it sounds like you
Yeah,
are doing that to a degree. Have you changed anything big from those retellings in some ways?
yeah, many times. Yeah, actually, many times.
Love
Many
that.
times. Every time I read kind of new historical facts or whatever, I rewrite. Just I
That's
wanted to, yeah, I want the reader to live inside in ancient Egypt. So I'm trying to do this, especially in the next book too.
love it. So as far as like changing, what do you foresee changing? Is it just the cultural appreciation for it from the readers, or to actually change the lives, like an alternate history, I guess is what I'm asking.
The historical facts, the historical information. Most people actually they know, yeah, they know about ancient Egypt, but some of them have wrong information. So that's what I'm trying to correct, or I'm trying to give them the right information or the right historical facts.
Well, you are welcome to reach out to me anytime you want another writer to talk to about that or to share with, because I believe the more we talk about it and the more
Yeah,
the accurate information gets out there, the more people will be open to understanding each other.
yeah, of
So
course.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
Thank you.
Jenna.
Well, no, thank you for writing it that way to actually get the true story as it really is out there. And do you have any questions then for me or for our audience?
No, thank you. But if the readers want to reach me, they can reach me on my Facebook author page at Engy Donia, Engy.
Spelled right
Okay.
there on the screen, and it'll be in the description box
Okay.
below for everybody as
Thank you.
well.
Yeah,
Thank
and on,
you.
on Goodreads.
Oh, goodness. Yes, definitely hit her up over on the Goodreads. Give a like, a share, get the book, review it,
Thank,
convince her we need this book too, more so than ever.
thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today, my lovely. And to the remaining lovelies watching us, thank you so much also for joining us. Thank you for a couple of the tech issues on my end throughout the video. You did great. And as
Thank you.
always, my lovelies, thank you for being here, and take care of yourselves a little bit better each and every day. We know you're worth it. Take care.
Bye.